Hi guys. Hi guys, I'm coming to you from the mountains again. I want to have a quick talk about people that never went outdoors and that just got the passion for it, they feel it. There's two different kind of people. There's some people that have, a touch for things. There's some people that don't need much effort to, let's say for a bow drill or just for doing knots. These knots that I've learned, I learned them on internet. It's bushcraft knots, and Ramir showed him a bit on his on one of his YouTube videos that somebody posted online. But some people don't get it that quick. Some people are a little slower. But the most important thing is just to be comfortable in the forest, first of all. So maybe the 5 seasons for survivability would be good for you. Maybe you would need a simple cordage, a flint, a tarp, a, um, a container, and a knife, which you don't need much. You can go in the woods, and if you feel like staying over that night, you'll work on your own skills. You'll take that extra 10% that you didn't know you had to stay up maybe all night and stoke the fire and be cold, but at least you did it. But some people will use that in their mind as a defeat. Oh, it was cold. Well, it's just how much you put in gives you the results. I started quick to learn how to set up tarps. So first of all, I did not have any problems about rain on my shelter. That was one problem solved. If I wouldn't have learned that, I think I would have been in a heck of a lot of more trouble, especially when those quick release knots are there. Because if I wouldn't have done those quick release knots with my hands wet, when it's pouring rain and I have to close down camp and have 10 minutes to leave, those knots were there to really fast pull on the string, ready to go. Another subject, someone's gear versus somebody else's gear. As long as you can perform the same, you can boil water, you can cut some wood, you can chop, you can cook. I mean, there's no problem. But most people think that you need a lot of like gear, first of all, which is false, or you need a lot of knowledge, which is false, because now you have YouTube, and a lot of people know you can pitch a tent, and that is as easy as that. But the main fundamental mindset of this is just to be in the forest, listen to sound, feel the forest, learn from what you got around you, from your mistakes probably. And I think that transcends in every part of your life. You don't put any efforts into whatever you want to do, you won't end up with a good result. The reason why I don't make shelters here and I don't practice a lot of bushcraft is maybe because I just came back from town and I wanted to spend 2 to 4 days, maybe 7 days here in the woods, just to calm down, get my thoughts back together, drop the alcohol, the ganja, the friends, the we don't have TV anymore. It's just a good thing. Cut the cable, cut the TV off. You're gonna end up outside. You're gonna want to do something else. You're not gonna, watch that movie all night. You're gonna actually go outside and breathe some air, have something else to do, some imagination. So, also, some people will say you need to practice bushcraft in the woods only, which is false. Everything that I learned here could have been practiced in your living room, your kitchen, or in your backyard. There's no reason why you can go grab a piece of wood and a piece of string and make a bow drill in the living room, okay? That's exactly the point. You need to practice before you go into the woods, so before you get into a bad situation, you know what to do or what would happen in this situation, so you know how you're going to handle that. That's why I come here often. Some people say, well, you're not going, way up north. I don't have a car. I don't have the means to go up there. But once I'm here, I can actually practice my routine and have everything running smoothly. Okay, sometimes it looks a little messy because I was setting up a lot of things. But the first thing first, as soon as I set up my stuff and I start, settling down, I got to clean my camp. I got to keep everything organized. So it's something that we have in our daily lives that that transcends into here, and that would transcend outside. I found chaga. Most people say, medicines are good for you. Well, if you've seen the properties of chaga, you'd notice that it's pretty much anti-cancer heaven for tumors and things like that. So as soon as you get back in a city with this kind of knowledge, with these kinds of plants, you're affecting a lot of people, even yourself. You can help other people. So bushcraft, primitive skills, and all of these go hand in hand. Doesn't mean that you live in a city, as I said, that you can't practice any primitive skills. Doesn't mean that I'm going to go out in the woods and only use primitive skills. I'm not used to being damp and wet or cold, and just a wool blanket sometimes just won't cut it. But if you can do it once, and if you can become uncomfortable once or twice, just to learn from it, and then you can affect your output by inputting into what the Six Sigma technique that Dave Canterbury was talking about, people wouldn't have any problems. It's just about trial and error and having finding something that works, but most of all, 100% of the time. I used to never carry a lighter. I used to only light with a flint. I used to only make feather sticks to light a fire. Now, I think that with feather sticks, a fire steel, and a bit of birch bark, the fire gets lit fast. I used to try to light a fire with gas. Doesn't work. So hope you guys are gonna go in the woods and maybe suffer a little bit. It won't hurt unless you're really not prepared to deal with hyperthermia. Suffering a little bit maybe means you're gonna be a bit wet, you're gonna be a bit cold, but you need to do what you need to do to stay alive. That's survival. Same as home. Thanks for watching.